Hello, you're welcome to today's lesson. My name is Harrison and I'm still dealing with bearings and distances. We have a question on the board. Three towns A, B, and C are such that the distance between A and B is 50 kilometers and the distance between A and C is 90 kilometers. If the bearing of B from C is 0.75 degrees and the bearing of C from A is 310 degrees, we have to find A, the distance between B and C, and secondly, bearing of C from B. As usual, we draw solution. So you go back as you read, you present it in a diagram. A and B on a bearing of 0.75 degrees. So let's start by using this. Let me bring it down. Okay, let's have this. Then this 0.75. And then this is 50 kilometers. Then the other one is 90. That is bearing, the distance between A and C is 90. And then on a bearing of 310 degrees. So you start from here, go round to this point. So now we have this. Let's stop here. And then we have something like this. So this is our A, B, and C. Now, we indicate properly. This should be 50 kilometers. This is 90. And then this is our small a. So the first question says, find the distance between B and C. B and C, that is, we are looking for small a. We use the cosine rule. So, and we know that a squared from cosine rule is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. That means that a squared is equal to, our b should be 90 squared plus 50 squared minus 2 times 90 times 50 cos. You now check. This is 75. This is 310 remaining 50. So 50 is here. To get the whole of the angle inside, 50 plus 75 will give us 125. So 125 should be inside. 125 degrees. So that will give us, you now check the calculator, and that will give us 8100 plus 2500 minus 9000 times minus 0.5736. 5736. Then continue, and that will give us, you add, that will be 10600 plus. Now, after multiplying this and this, remember, minus times minus will give us a plus. That is why we have this. So by the time you multiply this, we are going to have 5162. Now, when you add, we'll end up with 15762. 15762. Now, for us to find the distance from B to C, you have to find the square root of this. Therefore, A alone should be square root of Because we know that square root of a squared is a. So square root of this will now be square root of 15762. And that will give us 125.55. 55 kilometers. And that is approximately equal to 125.6 kilometers. And that is the bearing of B to C, sorry, the distance of B to C, and that is the solution to A. Distance between B and C is this. So that is a solution. Now we are going to find the bearing of C from B. Bearing of C from B should be from here, continue until the line joining BC. Now, for you to do it, remember this line is parallel to this. And then the angle here we know is 75 degrees. So this should also be 75 degrees. Why is it like that? Alternate angles are equal. So since this is 75, this is 75. So what will be the bearing? The bearing will be from here to here, 180 plus 75 plus the angle here that we don't know. So let's call it theta. So when you calculate this theta plus 75 plus 180 will give you the bearing of C from B. And that is this. So we now go back and answer question B. And in order to answer question B, we have to use a sine rule. We have to use sine rule. So remember that we calculated A to be 125.6. Okay. So as I said earlier, we have to use sine rule to calculate theta. So we know that bearing, that's B now, bearing of C from B to be equal to theta plus 75 degrees plus 180 degrees. And remember, we are here to calculate this. So we use sine rule to calculate that, and that is, we say that B over sine B is equal to A over sine A. Remember that this is our A. A over sine A. This will lead us to our B is 90. 90 over sine theta is equal to, what is our A? 125.6 all over sine 125 degrees. Then when you cross multiply, we are going to have 125.6 sine theta is equal to 90 sine 125 degrees. Therefore, sine theta should be equal to 90 sine 125 degrees divided by 125.6. So you check your calculator, and that will give us 90 times 0.8192. We are dividing by 125.6. So if you carry out the multiplication, that will lead us to 73.728 all over 125.6. And that will finally lead us to 0.5870. 0.5870. Therefore, sine theta equal to 0.5870. So the next thing we are to do is to find sine inverse theta. And to find sine inverse theta, you go again, sine inverse theta is equal to, you check your, sorry, let me go up. I hope this one is, let me also clean this. We said that sine theta is equal to 0.5870. That is this. Okay. So we are now going to check sine inverse theta to find the particular angle. So we'll come up here. Sine inverse theta is equal to, you check, and that will give us 35.94. 35.94 degrees, approximately equal to 35.9 degrees. Okay, but that is not the bearing. The bearing is this plus this plus this. So you now go back and find the bearing. And that means coming back here, since we have known the value of theta, we fix, and that will give us 0.9 degrees plus 75 degrees plus 180 degrees. And that will give us 290.9. 290.9 degrees approximately. So we have seen that the bearing of C from B is 290.9 degrees. And remember how I explained it? From here to the line joining B and C. And again, how I calculated this using a sine rule. So this now brings us to the end of the lesson. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. If there's any question, you put it in the comment section so that I will see it and find solution to it in my next video. Thank you.